You guys know the drill. Fill your cup up with whatever you're drinking and join me on this next video. Welcome back to the shop. We've got another project here that I want to tear into. We've got a broken tool, so we're going to be the Tool Scouter Clinic today. Let me bring you down here on the bench and let's take a closer look. All right, you can see this. It's called a cant. You see how it broke. It belongs like that. If I'm not mistaken, that's called a hog nose cant with this kind of thing. A regular cant has, or a PV has a spike that comes out of here. Well, this broke off, and I've got an idea of how to fix this. And I'm gonna bring you over here on the layout bench and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, my idea is, instead of using one solid block of wood, I have glued several of these together. These two here are glued together, these three here in the middle are glued together, and this outside one here is glued together, and I'm going to run them through the planer, and then we're going to glue those up. This one here will be in the center, and these two will sandwich, and none of these joints will line up. It should be all nice and tight, and this should not come apart. It's the strength of laminating all of these different wood grains together. All right, hopefully you can see here, that planer did a really nice job of smoothing out these boards. This here is the 3 boards. You can hardly tell the difference between them. And those are going to be the one, that's going to be in the middle. Then this one here and this one here are the 2 that are together, and they will overlap these seams, and there'll be a seam down the middle on each of these. So none of these seams will line up. This should be a very strong board. So we're going to go ahead and glue it up, clamp it up, and let it sit overnight. And it should be ready to turn on the lathe tomorrow. Just look at that end grain. None of those match. Got a piece there in the center with seams all the way around. Seam there and there, over here. So that should make a good, strong post right there. This is oak, so it's not ash or hickory. It might be a little more brittle, but I did find out something, and that is that my lathe will not take a full 4-foot piece. I was thinking that my lathe would accommodate a 48-inch piece, but it's not going to, so we're going to have to go to the traditional route of taking this down with a draw knife and with a rasp. So we'll get that going here probably tomorrow, and we'll try to fit those pieces on here. We got a lot of wood to remove on this one end, and then we got to round the whole thing off. So join me as we continue with this little project. We should have a really good tool once we're done. Well, it looks like I just made a great big pencil. So we'll shave this round and fit our pieces on there, and we'll get this to working. Well, after all that work, we've got something that we can now use and put to good use as we are felling trees and cleaning up the woods. Sometimes you need to roll a log and you need some leverage, and this here will give you the leverage. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I thought my planer or my lathe would accommodate a 48-inch piece, and it's only a 36-inch. So what I did is I turned this into an octagonal handle. I cut all four sides and then I put 45s on them, and you saw me run them through the thickness planer. What I did down here on the end was to try to make it so it's a little easier to grip and to grasp. I rounded this off right here, and you can see that a little bit better. It still has all the facets here on the end. The end grain is great. You saw how we assembled all that, and so this is all laminated together, one solid piece, and this should work really well for us. Now this tool is not going up on the wall. We're going to put this tool in the shed with the rest of our felling tools, our saw, and the caddy that goes with the saw, along with the timber jack. This here actually says Timber Tough on it, but you'll remind you, I'm pretty sure this is a Hog Nosed Cant. There was also a think it was a cow hoofs cant, but they said something about there were only 2 prongs, and this has the 4. So anyways, whatever the original or the proper name is for it, I'm not really sure, but it's the best that I can figure out. All I know is this is going to serve me really well. So it's a hefty tool. One time I was walking through one of the stores, a big box store, and I think I had a big 6-foot pry bar, a breaker bar, and not a breaker bar for ratchets, but a pry bar and a busting up bar. Oh, what do you call that? You know what I mean, a wrecking bar. At least I think that's what it's called. And I also had a post hole digger, and this elderly gentleman walked by me, says, "Man, that's just way too much work for me." And it's getting to the place where these kinds of tools, you look at it and say, do you really want to use this? Well, we really enjoy our nice warm heat in the winter time, and it is a lot of fun to be outdoors and in the woods. So I guess I'll keep my tools put together and fixed up. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this little jaunt, this little refurbish, as we fixed up this this cant and got it into good working order. So hey, I hope to see you on the next video. Like, share with a friend, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day and God bless.